Do a quick video on U-bolts. It's pretty straightforward if you follow these steps one at a time. Alright, the formula that we've kind of created for this process starts out basically step one right here. Okay, step one is to take the OD, add the stock size, and then multiply that by pi and divide it by 2. Okay, then to that you add the OD to it, and then you add your material times 2, but we're going to go through it step by step. Okay, first off, the reason we take the OD plus the stock size and multiply it by pi and then divide it by 2 is because that this all thread is only touching half the circumference. So what we're doing is finding the circumference from halfway across our all thread across the OD of the pipe, just like that. So the all thread is only touching half the circumference of our pipe. Okay, so we take our OD plus the stock size. So let me put some dimensions up here. It's 12-inch pipe. We're gonna say we're using say 1/2 inch stock. Okay, the stock size also pertains to the thickness of the nut that's going to be down here. 1/8 inch washer, and then you have thread exposure. Okay, of course we're going through all that material twice, that's why we multiply that by 2, and then thread exposure. Okay, so we got 1/2 inch stock, 1/8 inch washer, which is very standard. The plate we're going to go with, we'll say 1/2 inch plate or angle, whatever you want to call it, and then we'll say 1/4 of an inch of thread exposure, which I'll just say TE. Okay, so to find circumference, it's always diameter times pi, unless all you have is the radius to start with. If you have the radius, which is half the diameter of a circle, like if you had this point, that's radius, and then all the way across is diameter. So it would be radius times 2 times pi. But we have the full diameter. We're working with 12-inch pipe. So our OD of 12-inch pipe is 12 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and then instead of adding half the diameter of our all thread twice, which would be really stupid, we just add an extra step is all. Okay, our stock size is 1/2 inch, so we're just going to add a whole stock size instead of saying 12 3/4 plus 1/4 inch plus 1/4 inch. So we'll just do 12 3/4 plus a 1/2 inch. Which gets us 13 1/4 inches. That's our diameter. Okay, and just like right here, this is the step that we've completed. Now we've got to multiply this by pi to get our circumference. And that would be for the entire diameter. That would be the circumference for a circle with a diameter of 13 1/4 inches. Okay, so we're going to times that by pi. And let me pull up the calculator. Alright, here's our calculator. Let me move this over so you can see. Alright, we've got 12 inch and 3/4. That's the OD of our pipe. And we're going to add to that the size of our stock. Okay, plus 1/2 equals, that gets us 13 1/4. Now we're going to times that by pi for our circumference, times convert plus, which is the pi, then equals. Okay, that gives us circumference of 41 5/8. Okay, move this over here real quick. Okay, 41 5/8. Now we still have to divide that by 2 because again we're not touching this all thread does not wrap around the pipe. It's only touching half the pipe. So we're going to divide our circumference by 2. Divided by 2 equals 20 13/16. Okay, 20 13/16. So from here, from this point right here to this point right here is 20 13/16. Okay. Alright, now to go from basically the half of our OD of pipe to the plate right here, we're half the OD of the pipe away from the bottom here. So we got another half OD and another half OD. So instead of saying 20 13/16 plus half the OD plus half the OD, we're just going to do 20 13/16 times 1 OD, which is 12 3/4 of an inch. So let's bring our calculator back up. That's not it. There it is. Okay, plus 12 inch and 3/4 equals 33 9/16. So now from plate all the way around to plate is 33 9/16. Okay, now we have to add all this material. Okay, we go through that material twice. Okay, we go through all this material on this side, and we go through all this material again on this side. So basically we're going to take all this up, double it, and then add it together. We've got 1 inch here, gives us 1/4 of an inch here, gives us another 1 inch here, and then a 1/2 inch here. I'm going to add it all up. We got 2 1/4 plus a half, 2 3/4 inches. Alright, so now all we got to do is add that to our 33 9/16. 2 3/4. So 2 3/4. Pull up our calculator. God damn. Let's see here. We're grabbing the wrong window. Alright, we got 33 9/16 plus 2 inch and 3/4 equals an all thread length of 36 inches and 5/16. That is it. That's all there is to U-bolts. Just follow it step by step and you'll have no problem.